Hello everyone, Ray here. Just wanted to share a little bit about how my wife and I are able to qualify for loans on the rental properties that we're purchasing and acquiring. So basically, I had to get my ducks in a row before I can start using OPM, other people's money, the bank's money as we call it. To start qualifying, I had to have a good credit score. 740 and up, you can get the best rates. Of course, buying down the points as well, the best interest rates. We always work on saving and budgeting for the next purchase, my wife and I. And that's very important, having the down payment. And of course, reserves. Reserves are the money that's set aside for at least 6 months in advance, or 6 months worth of reserves per property. So for example, if my mortgage on one property is $1,000, I would have to have at least 6 months of reserves, which is equals to $6,000 in the bank. So in order for me to purchase that next property, the bank wants to see those reserves in a savings account or in a place accessible in case there's no tenants in that certain property that we own already. So we had to have savings, of course, right? That's what I consider reserves. So yeah, that's reserves. Credit score 740 and up to get the best rates. Of course, your down payment, depending if you're putting 20% down, 25% down, and how much the property cost, that's going to be your down payment, 25% in my case. Not only that, your income to debt ratio is very important. Now, if you have a lot of debt, depending on how much you make monthly, you're probably not going to qualify. So the less debt you have, the less credit card payments, the less car payments, the better. Okay, and of course, the more income you make, the better you look to the bank. So those are some of the things that really helped my wife and I throughout this whole process of acquiring rental properties. Is credit score 740 and up to get the best interest rates. You have to have savings for the down payment and reserves for each of the properties that you own. And your income to debt ratio should be low enough to where the bank doesn't consider you a risk. Yeah, getting all those ducks in a row, you should be able to get pre-qualified. But as you know, interest rates are rising now. They've already risen since 2 months ago. And what a huge difference these higher interest rates make when it comes to the monthly payment. So keep on doing what you're doing, and what we're doing, my wife and I, is looking for the best deals. There's a certain formula that I use. Basically, you find a house, you find out what the rental survey is in the area that you're purchasing the rental property at. You run the numbers, you figure out what the interest rate's going to be, figure out the taxes on the property, and the insurance, very easily attained information. You calculate all that, right? And whatever your monthly payment is, you deduct that from the rental surveys in the area for that 3-bedroom, 2-bath, or whatever type of property you're buying. And not only that, after you deduct the mortgage, the insurance and taxes, you want to deduct any other bills, any other expenses you may have, such as utilities, trash, any other, and of course you want to set aside for any vacancy and repairs a certain percentage, at least 3 to 5%. That's what we do. And any capital expenditures, like might need a roof in 10 years, right? So set that aside. That's basically the way we calculate things, and how we look for properties and to see if it'll work or not, if it'll cash flow. And again, my wife and I, we look for properties that will yield a 9% or no less than a 9% return on investments. And once you have a criteria and a certain yield you want to attain the first year, you're golden, because all the information, the equation that I just gave you guys, the formula, if you stick to those numbers, I mean, it's gonna go good. You'll cash flow and you'll be in the positive. And even if you have to lower the rental rates in case of a crash or a slowdown of any kind, it's okay, because you're still in the positive at that point. You're still cash flowing. And but that's how we're doing it, and that's how we're being able to purchase these properties, get qualified by the bank, and just make sure that we do cash flow right every month. And there's a buffer, of course. There's a margin of a certain padding, as we call it, right? Cash flow, that positive cash flow that is going to allow us to, if we have to lower the rates, the rents every month, we'll still be cash flowing at that point because our margins are high. But that's it. Just thought I'd share how my wife and I do it today. I'm working my 9-to-5 job. I'm going on 13 hours of work. I'm a truck driver. Started at 3 in the morning. It is 4:17 at this time. About to ready to clock out. But yeah, you know, if I can do it, almost 60 hours a week at my W-2 income job, and I work 4 days a week. So if I can do it, you guys can do it, man. Just find a time, educate yourselves on buying rentals, how to calculate, how to get qualified at the banks for loans, and just do it. If you can use that formula and cash flow, my thing is 9%, no less than 9% the first year. You guys can set your margins, you know, depending on where you live. But here in the high desert, Hesperia, California, those work for me, and the numbers, the formula work anywhere you go. All right, but this is where I'm investing, and hopefully soon I can start investing in other states. But until then, I'm still finding good deals that yield no less than a 9% return on investment here in the high desert, as we call it. Ray out. Cash flow, it's what it's all about. Love y'all. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.